Good evening. Earlier this year, BC Hydro proposed rate hikes, which would see some electricity bills rise 50% over the next 5 years. Now, a government-ordered review into the proposed rate increases suggests the corporation could cut those hikes in half by eliminating almost a quarter of its workforce. Kristen Robinson reports.
BC Hydro rates will go up, but not as much as consumers originally feared. The provincial panel tasked with reviewing the rates is recommending changes, which could see rates increase by 16.6% instead of 32%.
Effectively, the panel has identified opportunities to reduce the rate in half of what was originally submitted by BC Hydro.
We're still looking at 16, 17, 18% rate increases for consumers.
I think the win is that we're not doing 9.73% each of the next 3 years. We're going to go to probably 8% and 3.9, 3.9, which really cuts that increase request by Hydro down in half.
The panel released its 124-page report full of recommendations for BC Hydro to reduce the cost of energy self-sufficiency, including changes in the way it procures capital, deferring capital projects, and trimming the fat in its workforce. The panel suggests a more reasonable staffing level would be 4,800 employees instead of 6,000, a nearly 25% reduction.
Of course, we're not perfect, and we never claim to be perfect, and I think we want to be the most efficient, cost-effective utility in North America, and we're not there yet.
Between 2006 and 2010, when other companies were downsizing, BC Hydro's full-time positions grew by 41%. Jobs, the panel says, were not monitored or controlled. It currently employs 6 times more engineers than BC's Transportation Ministry. By cutting up to 1,000 positions in the next 3 years, BC Hydro could reduce its expenditures by more than $800 million.
I think it's going to startle 1,000 families across British Columbia that their livelihood is going to be taken away from them, and it doesn't really address the root problem. The root problem is purchasing power at 3 and 4 times the market rate.
The panel found BC Hydro's water rental rates are the highest in Canada, and it's the only producer to pay top tier for the rates.
But we're going to take a really hard look at all the policies that affect BC Hydro and legislation over the next few months.
BC Hydro recently made 250 job cuts and is planning more.
We are confident the 350 people reduction we're talking about now will lead to direct savings that we can pass on to our ratepayers. Beyond that, we have to prove the case, because it doesn't necessarily cost less money to do something outside the company than it does inside.